I'm Christian Abbott.
I'm Nathan Lavender.
I'm Sean Abbott.
And this is the Red Mist Podcast.
Hello, welcome to the Red Mist Podcast, Season 2, Episode 13, the EJ Viso PDVSA HVM Racing Dallara from 2009 episode. Nate, remember EJ Viso?
I do. I remember him in the sicko car.
In the sicko car. But he was quick.
Yeah.
He was quick.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he was up there.
He was quick.
I'm actually surprised he didn't get as many podiums or wins.
I think you were surprised that I picked him.
I was thinking a lot of, there's plenty of NASCAR 13s, but, I mean, that one is a pretty good one, I gotta say.
Anyways, so that's our theme for this week. All right, and so on this week's episode, we're going to discuss NASCAR at COTA, Formula One, Australia, Indycar, Texas, and some miscellaneous ramblings.
Yeah, pretty much.
Recording the episode a little bit later than we normally do. Christian and I were away traveling, so recording this a little bit later in the week. So when it drops, don't fear, we didn't leave you hanging. So, anyways, all right, let's move to COTA.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, this is probably going to be the shortest episode of the week because Nate's only got 5 minutes to cram everything in, and that's about it.
Yeah, I didn't.
So you did not watch it?
No, we'll get to that. For full disclosure, though, Christian and I did not watch the truck race.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I think we watched...
That was burnout of the year.
Literally a burnout of the year.
Yeah.
And a burn down.
Yeah.
Was that car... Did that truck clear tech?
Apparently, he kept the win, so
okay.
I mean, that's what counts, right? So.
Yep.
Meet the minimum ride height?
Who won?
Zane Smith. And the 38 front row.
Right. Oh, the front row guys. Okay, that's cool.
Yep. Yeah.
All right. Okay, so that we covered the truck race then.
Basically.
For the Xfinity race, by nature,
that was a good one.
By virtue of the fact that Christian and I were in Colorado, and we concluded the day of skiing, we actually did get to see the last third of the race.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So we saw the exciting part.
Yeah.
What would have been stage 3 had there been stages.
But there
was
so
none.
glad.
Just for clarification, we were not with Chase Elliott, though.
We were not with Chase Elliott. No. He was in Vail.
Yeah.
We were not in Vail.
Oh. I was wondering if you guys...
I know. I was wondering, too. I was trying to snoop around to find out where he was, but Fox, because they had him on Sunday, had, live from Vail, Colorado. Oh, well, that's where it happened. All right. But, no, we were not in Vail. We were in another part of snowy Colorado.
Yeah.
So, not surprised that the Dinger won.
No,
but very intrigued at how close Byron was.
No.
Okay.
Well, yeah, that's right. In the 1700, oh my gosh. I'm thinking of the race. I was yeah, he kind of got him, but Tyler Reddick was, no. But anyway, yes. So speaking with the Xfinity car.
Right.
William Byron was good. That 1700 car is always really good anyway because it's a 100 car.
Yep.
But AJ Allmendinger, he was on it.
Yep.
He has those Xfinity cars figured out.
He does. Mm-hmm. He does.
So they put on an amazing battle.
It was a good finish. Wasn't it close? Wasn't third, fourth? Wasn't that a close finish?
Yeah, it was coming down the last.
I don't know who
last couple
third
laps.
And fourth in that, but I just remember because then we were kind of rushing out
it was
to dinner.
It was 2-2, and then I don't want to say 3 after that, but the field was pretty well spread out after that. Those guys, but I think Dinger, he pulled away towards. Oh no! Byron made a mistake on the last.
Byron
lap. That's
made
what it
a
was.
mistake. Yeah.
Yeah.
He washed out in one of the in the S's.
Yeah.
So, but overall, good race.
Yeah.
Fun. So it was good. Good.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So that covers Xfinity.
Nate, do you have anything additional on the Xfinity race?
No, but it was like I'm just trying to look, and there was a few road ringers, and they really didn't show up, but it was a really great battle to the end with Byron, minus his mistake at the end, but AJ Allmendinger brought that 10 car to victory lane finally.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So cool to see.
All right. All right. So let's move to Sunday.
Well, before we get to Sunday, Saturday we had qualifying.
Oh yeah.
Which
for that.
there was someone in the final part.
Can I ask a question? I did not see the qualifying. We didn't see the qualifying.
No, I didn't see the qualifying. I just saw the results.
Right.
That's
so
all.
we didn't see the qualifying. We just
So-
saw the results.
I saw the highlights of qualifying.
Was it group qualifying or was it?
Yeah, it's
one-
group qualifying.
Okay, so it's kind of like
Hold on,
IndyCar a little bit.
Is it group qualifying like IndyCar where you have 1 and 2 groups, or are we talking like traditional group qualifying where everyone goes out at once?
It's groups, and so it's like half the group goes out.
Okay.
Okay, all right.
And then
so it's
they
like
advance,
IndyCar.
whatever.
Yeah. All right.
So,
okay,
yeah,
that's fine.
it's
That's
that
fine.
same exact
like
format.
top 6 advance, and yeah. Okay, that's fine.
Right.
That's
And so
that's all right.
in
Whatever.
the last part of qualifying with like the top 10, 12.
So this would be the top 10 shootout or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jordan Taylor just is there, like it cracks me up because I was just thinking, like, he has a really good car, Chase Elliott set up car, who's, pretty good on road courses and got his first win at the Glen. It makes you think he knows how to set up a car, and Jordan Taylor is just, lights out in IMSA, so he's, no slouch. So I kind of saw a good result coming. I didn't expect the top 5, though. I will say that he qualified 4th for the race with an incredible lap. He was on it all the way around. Personally, I thought that was pretty incredible. For his first start, too.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I didn't think he was not going to have a high qualifying because honestly, he was in a Hendrick car. So, and he's had a lot of, I would say close to similar, but not quite. The Garage 56 car is completely different, but it has some characteristics. So and also the fact that Jordan's raced at that track a bunch of times. So it's not an unfamiliar track to him.
Right. And one of the highlights was when he won in, I think it was 2017 with his brother, Ricky Taylor, in the top class. So that was he's won at this track before, plenty of laps.
We were there.
Not in the NASCAR.
We were there.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So, when Wayne Taylor won in the 10 car.
Yep. We also were there when they ran Ricky and Jordan and Ollie Gavin in the WEC race in the Corvette in the rain. So, anyways,
fun.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, there you go. Yeah. So not surprised by that. I thought the other notable drivers, which were Jensen Button and Kimmy, essentially Jensen's first time in a tin top. He's never really raced
a proper tin top.
Yeah, he's never really raced. He's run vintage racing. Well, and he did what do you call it? Super GT in Japan, and he also did Le Mans.
Well, and he's also been doing.
I was just going to bring up Super GT because he was with the Colsonic program, I believe, or not? Cause, was it Colsonic?
It was one of the top teams.
It was one of the Nissans.
And then he also ran some British GT. So I mean,
he's also been doing Garage 56 stuff too.
Yeah. So I mean, but the car has traction control. It's got
correct. The car is
and stuff like that.
Is neutered a lot.
It's
compared to that.
The Cup car.
The Cup car compared
Yeah,
to the Garage
compared to
56.
the
It's not got as much downforce. It doesn't have all the special
And I'm just trying to remember. I don't know if he's
electronics.
I'm trying to think if he raced at COTA. Not 100% certain.
Yeah, he did.
He did.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah, because
Wait,
they came
so-
in 2012 was the
Okay.
first year.
So
Okay.
so he knew it was.
So I gotta fix myself for a second. Jensen Button did the what is that? The card, the number 100 Ray Brig Honda. I knew as soon as I said Nissan
There you
that
go.
was incorrect. So
Yeah,
I had to check it out.
because he's been affiliated with Honda, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So not
Anyway,
surprised by that.
go on.
I thought Kimmy, did what Kimmy did. It's tough because
Not a lot of seat time. Still learning the track with a different car.
Right. I mean,
And so Kimmy, they were actually in a pretty good spot for a second.
in qualifying.
No. Come the final restart.
Why are we jumping to the race? We're just talking qualifying.
I'm thinking about Kimmy, and then
No, we're just talking qualifying. We'll get to the race.
All right.
Jumping ahead.
I am.
So, anyway, so I thought that was okay. Who Bowman got pole?
Byron
got pole. Byron got pole. And then he had
But Alex Bowman's pretty good there,
and he had Reddick right with him. So,
which was not too far behind.
and Austin Cindric. So, I mean, not surprised by the front. I mean, the only person that sort of was an interloper was Jordan. And Christian and I were talking as the race started. I was just like, he's not going to throw it in there.
No,
Which I think I'll get to this in a little bit. So he didn't, he went up the hill, didn't throw it in, kind of got shuffled back to ninth, and then things string out, and then the race moves forward. It was fun because it didn't have any stages, which was fantastic.
sorry. They had stages, but there was no.
I didn't
breaks.
have to see the brake flag,
Yeah.
which is all right.
Yeah.
Let me rephrase it. They had stage. I don't care about that. Like you
No,
can
no,
award
no,
points.
you
I don't care. Whatever they do it. They do it in IMSA in the endurance race.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of that.
Like you get bonus points for hours. I'm not a fan of either. But anyways, I don't know what it really does. Well, I know what it does, but anyways, so it wasn't all that surprising that Jordan got shuffled back. Jensen got a little bit shuffled back, and Kimmy kind of I think held fort. So I mean, good for them. But I mean, the only way Jordan was really going to hang in there was to stay in the top 10 throughout the race. I mean,
Right, but here's my thing with that. So you're comparing these road ringers, and I'm looking at Kimi Räikkönen right away because he already has a start. He already has some laps at the Glen, and so I think he more or less got the one race experience, I would say, helps tremendously because he understands the aggression between the drivers, and later on Jensen and Jordan Taylor will go on to eventually say that the aggression was they were kind of caught off guard by that.
right, but we'll also take that point in a little bit. We'll discuss that because they were drivers in the NASCAR series in the race who had the same beef about what's going on.
Yeah.
And it's not just on the road courses; it's also on the ovals.
Like everywhere.
Yeah,
Everywhere.
It's just
The schedule.
and well, NASCAR doesn't do anything about it.
No.
So
Unless
what?
it's you're on a podcast and you say something, right? Denny Hamlin.
Yeah, or you park your car and get out of it and flip everybody off.
And get sponsored by a parking company.
Right. Look at that, Josh Williams, my man. Anyways, so from that point on, it was kind of it was basically Byron and Reddick.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
the only other person that came through the field was Kyle Busch.
Yes.
Yes.
But they they did a actually they had an interesting strategy. I mean, they lucked out with the yellow, which helped them.
Kyle
but,
did.
Yeah.
Yes.
But it was
Yeah.
again good stuff. That's what happens when you don't
you take
have,
or you take a chance.
You don't.
And then, right. There's strategy. It's
Yeah,
like
you
you're-
don't.
And
like
stages
if
are out.
you have somebody see that there's a caution, like your spotter says, "Hey, there's a car spun."
Right.
You take the crapshoot
Well,
to make a pit
they
stop.
that wasn't
No, I'm just
it,
saying.
right. Yeah, that's not how it played
Right.
out for him. But because
Right.
what they did for the stage. For stage 3, they basically split it in two.
The Bush's team.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the way it came
Yeah,
out. So
that's fine.
so when he pitted, it was like a lap or two before the
Right.
yellow came out. So
Yeah.
he just lucked out that everyone else
Right,
pitted, and then
right.
he shuffled to the front.
Yeah.
Fine.
So
but
that's racing. That's the way
exactly,
it goes.
That's
That's the way it should be.
yeah. Not having a mandatory
Team.
stage break
Right.
where everyone
where we clean
files
the
out.
clean the
Yeah.
ice and the cars get restacked. So that's kind of set up the run to the end, and honestly, Reddick was kind of pulling away, and then here comes the NASCAR script again. Like it wasn't just one caution; it was two.
Yeah.
It's a joke.
Yeah.
It's a freaking joke.
Personally, I knew it was starting to happen when you saw the dirt come on the track, and I'm like, this is going to be a NASCAR
Right,
caution.
but
This is going to be a NASCAR
but-
caution. Sure enough, 3 or 4 cars spun after driving over it. I thought they just should have kept it.
I
really-
100% agree.
Well, if-
I don't really see.
And again, if you're gonna just ignore track limits like that,
like that's
keep
the
it.
consequences. of
That's
it.
what you're
The
doing.
Crap gets thrown on the track.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like a Baku. We're gonna see the tire deg and the crap offline.
Right.
well, that's any track.
No, it Baku. It's pretty bad. It's a high. There's a lot of deg there.
Don't they bring like the softest compounds there?
Yeah, but the crap rolls up on the side. The clag's all over the track on that. So they.
Yeah, but
Right.
That's
Yeah.
what I'm. That's
Okay,
that's
moving on.
they deal with it. So I don't like Nate said. I think you just deal with it, and like you said, you just deal with it. And then this is where this whole thing is on these restarts. Guys are just
it's
firing.
for turn 1 too.
Right.
Yeah, and that in Indianapolis road
Right.
course, terrible
Right.
turn 1s, but it's just
It's but
Well, no, no,
just
no,
what
it's-
it is.
they're not-
for
they're not-
NASCAR.
Yeah.
For NASCAR.
But the
I'm
point-
not
but Nate, the point
saying
being
it bad
is
for IndyCar, bad for F1.
like every driver in NASCAR decides that they're Danny Kvyat and they're going to torpedo everybody. I mean,
Well, it's
like
you know,
honestly, we could have
that-
Kvyat in the
that's-
race and he could have torpedoed somebody. It would have been awesome. Probably would have won the race.
Wasn't he in a race earlier this?
He was. No, he was
Oh,
at
no,
Watkins
no.
Glen.
Sorry, I'm
But
mixing up. He was
yeah,
he was in
but
WC.
it's just like and then we had my favorite driver,
which is
Austin Dillon.
which I mean caused the second caution, which that should not have been a caution.
Yeah,
That was just the car
But he
dangling on the side.
literally basically took everybody out of the race
yeah.
prior to him, doing whatever he did with the car, like blew the tires out or whatever he did. I don't know if Grandpa Richard shot him out or what, but anyways.
He did with Ty on the first lap.
Yeah, he did with Ty in the first. It was a banner day for the Dillon family. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Oh my God.
So that can't, and then that's where Jordan got kind of crushed to the back, and then Jensen kind of moved, benefited because he kind of moved through that mess, and
Yeah, he's just doing his own thing.
and then
But
we'll
he
talk
figured
about
it out.
early in the race. Jimmy Johnson gets nailed. Like
Yeah,
because some idiot
Track
spins.
Kezowski.
Yeah. Oh yeah, bad Brad.
Yeah. This
Bad Brad
guy
who had another
a terrible, good race.
another
The first 5 cautions were him.
Yeah, another banner weekend for Bad Brad.
That team was
Jesus.
led.
Who
every
did he
single
take
race
out?
done.
Like,
Johnson, Jimmy Johnson.
it was like
in
Ty
84.
Dillon, Jimmy Johnson, Bubba Wallace, Connor Daly in the crap box that he was driving, Keselowski, Allmendinger, and then, Ryan Preece got like hammered. Like,
At
was
the
it
end?
no fault of his own? Gets absolutely blown up because of
Yeah,
the
stupidity.
rhinestone cowboy there, Austin Dillon. Anyways, I mean, good God, yeah, Christopher Bell, another one got wiped out. Like these are
Who's really starting to become good at road courses.
exactly.
He's under budget, I would say.
My
instead of-
kind of like another driver had a good day up until that point was Martin Truex.
I know he got
And then-
and Daniel Suarez too.
Suarez, right?
He was in that,
Yep.
but didn't get damaged.
So
he just was in front of a parked
So
car.
after the race, obviously, Reddick went on one. God love him. The kid drove an amazing race. I mean, he lights out. And Kyle Busch got second.
Yeah.
So and Bowman got third. Chastain, was good. For him. And then Byron was fifth. Cindric, and then Nate's boy Ricky Stenhouse.
Sure.
And then Chris Buescher, Ty Gibbs, and Todd Gilliland. Okay.
Todd Gilliland.
Yeah,
That's a
good for him.
really good run for him.
Good for him. But the post race stuff, first
I
off,
got something to say about that.
yeah. Well, they went to Jensen, they went to Jordan. Kimmy probably was on a plane with some drinks, I think. I don't think Kimmy stuck around for the press, which is fine. which is why I love Kimmy.
Gotta go.
And Jensen was kind of honest. Like, it was a tough race. It was a lot harder than he thought. So good on him to being honest. But fair.
He was
on,
suffering from heat exhaustion.
Yeah, but
And so
fair on him to kind of go off on the driving standards. And Jordan said the same thing.
Yeah.
All right. I mean, first off, Jordan can't sit there and fire off Chase Elliott's car, which it is, even though he's not driving it. Okay, he's not going to fire it off and just I'm going to just go right for the corner like everybody else seems to want to do, and bowling pin like 6 guys out of the way and then clang into him and then drive off.
Yeah.
You know what? Let Chase Elliott do that. I don't think Chase Elliott would do that either. But Jordan's he's a contract driver with GM, and he's not doing that.
No, but considering it's Chase's car, he probably knows the secrets of where to put the car and not lose as much.
Right,
as many
but he's not going to take the risks that these other guys do. Right. All of these other drivers that are out there, and this is what Harvick was saying. They don't care. They just fling the car in, and there's no repercussions. There's no repercussions from the teams. There's no repercussions from NASCAR. Okay. And it's like, oh, okay, so I guess you just fling it in, wreck everybody else, see if the car drives on, and it becomes a demolition derby. I mean, it's ridiculous, and it gets back to almost where I was with Sebring, with what went on, the crap that went on at the end of the race in that race, with the Porsche.
Yeah.
All right. I mean, these guys, somebody's going to get killed. I hate to say it. And I don't want to go that extreme. Somebody's going to get killed and somebody's going to get really hurt. Because some of this crap that goes on is unbelievable.
Right. It's pretty
They almost feel like, I get the feeling that some of these guys think that these cars, like, they're indestructible.
Yeah.
But they're not. Okay? I mean,
they're thinking is because it's so safe,
and,
do you bring that extra element of pushing it the envelope further?
We brought this up too about IndyCar.
With the IndyCar. Yeah.
At
Yeah,
St.
no,
Pete.
I am
yeah, St. Pete.
We brought that up because
the St. Pete, there was the
brought up
McLaughlin Grosjean incident.
We brought up with how, again, safe that the cars have gotten, which fantastic. That's great.
Yeah,
but it brings in that element of
nothing's going to happen.
Right. Can you throw it in there without any?
Right. Now, I don't see this weekend when they go to Texas, it's going to be a whole different ballgame.
Yeah.
Is Marco running?
Hold on.
I think he's just running Indianapolis.
Oh, okay. All right. I just threw it out because he always does well at Texas.
No, he's just doing Indy.
Okay, just doing Indy. Sorry, I digress. So that kind of that's where all that came from, and what Harvick was kind of talking about. And of course, all the Twitter trolls are all over Harvick about the thing, and about what he said. And I'm like,
sorry. While I'm looking at this, I have all the drivers pulled up for IndyCar and what races they're doing. But you know who's racing this weekend? Takuma.
Oh, Takuma's back. Excellent.
He's stepping in for Marcus Armstrong because Marcus isn't doing
the ovals.
Yeah, which I think is good.
Well, he's doing
if Marcus does Iowa. Kansas, I think that's fine.
It looks like he's doing Iowa.
Iowa, sorry, I'm not Kansas. Iowa,
no,
which is fine. Takuma's doing 3 races. He's doing
2. I just see 2.
I thought it was 3.
Texas and
Texas
in Indy.
Indy. I thought there was another
Anyways,
one he was doing. Anyways,
Let's get
Gateway
back.
or
anyways, get back.
Get
So
back to NASCAR.
that's where all that kind of went. Nate, I'm sure you have a few thoughts on it too.
Yeah, I mean, you see it with the restarts, and it's just it's really tough because the track is wide. When's your next opportunity to pass whoever's in front of you? Right? It's getting to it, and you see a little door open. And so it becomes that game of all take, right? Yeah. And so it's sure, it comes down to how bad do you want it to win, but right. I also think it's like let's make it to the finish too, but I think it's also the thought process of maybe chance. On this green white checkered, if something happens, I get up 8 spots, and then when the next one happens, I'll get up 8 more spots. So that's what I think the problem lies with NASCAR is. I think you just need to either.
Well, don't you?
I think you need to cut it with the green white checkers too, because never mind, it takes longer.
That's true too. What about the? I think there's another thing. Well, there's 2 other things. I mean, there's obviously a lack of penalties that come from. Is there race control? Do they have? Perhaps Michael Massey. Do they have anybody like that? Bo Barfield.
Well,
not anymore. It's boys have at it.
It's boys have at it. So they don't have a race director or whatever.
Yes. Well, if you speed down pit road, NASCAR will say you sped on pit road.
I got it.
There's pit lane penalties.
Pit lane penalties.
But I really haven't seen.
So there's nothing on the track.
Yeah.
Except for Josh Williams.
Well, that's right.
All right. So it's basically when they're on the track, it's unpoliced.
For the most part, yeah.
Right.
I want to say yes.
Back in the day,
more so than no.
Back in the day, as Nate calls me Father Time,
of racing.
Yeah, and back in the day, there was one Dale, the Intimidator Earnhardt, who was basically the sheriff out there, which was fine. So if he was, he'll straighten you out. But
yeah.
But these guys, like, I digress on that. But there is just this lack of. It's like lawless, on the track.
Right.
And a lot of the crap that gets done, it's like a lot of the crap
it's the Wild West.
It is. And then it's like when they get the super speedways and they have the big one, that's why. Yeah.
Right.
But here's the other thing. This goes back to, I think in some ways, the broadcast networks have something to do with this now too. Okay? Because when you got DW back in the day on Fox screaming and yelling, boogity, 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 it's just, they're all going to go. And I think it plays in these guys' heads, too, that they're going to just go, don't matter. And you got Clint Boyer screaming and yelling like, you got to take him out, like all this. Like, what he is histrionics. It's, like, ridiculous. Because when it was ESPN and you had Bob Jenkins, Larry Newby, Dale Jarrett, and you had Benny Parsons. Yep. Even when you had Ken Squire and David Hobbs and Benny, on CBS.
Dr. Jerry Punch. Oh yeah.
Well, not Dr. Jerry Punch was a pit lane reporter, so like.
No,
please.
Not in new era NASCAR ESPN.
Nate,
he was head commentator.
No, whatever. Nate, I'm talking like Bob Jenkins and those guys. All right, like
sure.
Those guys called the race. Okay. These guys are like talking about who's going to get after who, and stuff like that. The only one that sits in the booth and I think doesn't want to talk about it is Tony Stewart.
What market it?
Sure.
With all the broadcast stuff and how do you promote the sport?
I know they're promoting it's like they're waiting for the big one.
Regardless, whenever you watch a NASCAR highlight reel of a preview to a race,
yeah.
It's always wrecks side by side,
side by side,
high speed incidents. Like it's never like a good move, that you show and highlight that.
Like it wasn't,
and it doesn't even. It doesn't actually. This doesn't matter if it's just NASCAR. It's anything.
Any race,
because you look at F1, all the highlights are like the incidents between Verstappen and Hamilton.
I know.
All the wrecks there.
But they ignore all the good stuff that went on during the year.
Correct.
And stuff.
Yeah. And like there's plenty of other good stuff that goes for a race. I mean, honestly, last week's Jeddah race.
All we're doing is talking about the difference between Perez and Verstappen and all this crap, that was going on. And I'm like going, you know what?
No, but taking all that out, that's what an F1 race is. It's the average F1 race is very boring.
Oh,
and that's
yeah. And again, it's even more boring when it's on a track that's boring, and that's
correct.
What is. Yeah.
But
this weekend, no, because there's an extra DRS zone. We can get to that. Yeah. But So I mean, I Nate, would you agree with that? I mean, like or some even of this broadcast stuff is just garbage.
Well, it's every time you look at a commercial on TV. It's every time you go on YouTube.
Right.
The first image, like Christian said, it's a crash. If something crazy happened, it's just smoke up in the air. It's
and then
cars side by side.
It's Clint Broyes screaming and yelling that this is what NASCAR is all about, and it's like
100%.
No,
100%.
Because then you have. I'm sure it's not just me, but there's probably other people out there that watch. Because I've said this before. When I watch a NASCAR race, I turn it on, watch the first 5 laps. This is me as a fan.
I know.
I watch the first 5 laps, no crash, turn it off, come back, last 5 laps, debris caution.
Right.
Watch the final crash to the end. That's what a NASCAR race consists of. Right. To me as a fan.
I'll be honest with you, the only one that I really watch, the only race I watch are the road course races.
Well, and I'll add to that because I'll tell you what.
And the only reason I watch it, is because it's a road course race. Other than that, I could care less.
But listen to this. Attaboy to NASCAR for a second for no stage racing. I gotta say that was
there
was some good racing.
Right.
There was some great racing.
There was good racing, and there was also the fact that the guys in the pit box had to come up with a strategy.
Yeah.
Well, it was the 2-stop strategy versus the 3-stop strategy, and we looked for a second. Tyler Reddick was falling back, and then he busted his ass on track to overcome the 2-stoppers.
This is what Christian and I have been talking about.
Because there was one point in the middle of the race where there was a 5-way battle at the front there, and they were all
on different strategies.
They were all short on fuel,
and it was
pretty much, which was
crazy.
interesting to watch,
right? But this
again,
is the whole
that's
thing.
That's the racing I like to watch,
right? And that's where it was before they decided that they had to have this stage crap.
Yeah.
All right.
So that's just it, because it was the dirt on the track caution that set the whole tone for the end. I was like, this is it. Right. This is what's going to happen. So, you're going to have to restart, and there's going to be a wreck at turn 1. Right. And look what happened.
It was, yep.
Okay.
And then,
and so
then, the other thing was, and Chris and I were watching this. This is the thing. Can we get some people in the pits, that know what's going on? Seriously?
Like Dr. Jerry Punch?
Jackaroot. Somebody.
Dunlap.
What's her name? Jamie. What's Jamie's name?
Jamie Little.
Jamie Little. Love her.
Jamie Little.
She's very good. She's been around it for a while. She completely insulted my entire senses of her commentating on a race when Jordan Taylor came in for a pit stop. She literally said,
"That's right.
He's never done this before." And I'm sitting there going, "What?" Now, okay. Now the only now, and I was what would have been even it just was completely insulting. I'm like, do you know where he raced, or what he races?
Right.
He races
like 2 notes.
Right.
He races sports cars.
Right. It's I guess they, what is it? Well, they get out and have some wine when they make the pit stop or something? I mean, it was the most embarrassing thing I ever heard. And
it's not even.
But what's the other thing? The other thing was they didn't even draw the analogy that with the Garage 56 car.
Yeah.
He's the coach.
Are they using the 1 lug? Or are they using the 5 bolts? Are they using nuts?
Just one.
No,
Just
Okay,
one.
so they're
That's the
using the
one,
Unilog. But as I understand,
Come on, Sean,
but
you know this.
but as I understand it, they're not using air jacks.
No,
No.
because they have to
No, no,
conform
no, no,
to
no.
WEC rules.
No, they're not using air jacks.
Oh, I'm sorry.
They have to deform like whatever. It's like NASCAR. They have to like whatever. They have to jack
gotcha.
the car up, and the
Okay.
guys have to go in through climb in through. There's
Yes.
no door.
Right.
They have to go in through the window.
Yeah.
Very old school. Like it's old school racing, old school.
Yeah.
Like old Trans Am stuff. So like I just was sitting there, and I'm like, I was waiting for her to go down and talk to like Jensen Button's never done a pit stop before. Like
Yeah.
it was like, what did these guys come up from outer space? It just
And that's the thing.
honestly,
'cause it's just-
she's very good. She calls the ARCA races and all that. It just was like you just really
trucks.
yeah, but it just was
I
insulting.
know.
It just insulted me.
I mean, especially for Jamie Little, she does really dive
Right.
into a
And
story
I'm not
too.
picking on
Well, other
just Jamie.
drivers,
I'm not
like-
picking on Jamie too
No,
because
no,
there
no,
was
no, but it's like,
there was just other
that's
stuff.
it?
There was other stuff during that race that the other pit reporters like. I'm just like, I don't even know what the hell they do. Like, oh yeah, well, I got 4 tires. Okay, well, why don't you go talk to the like? They don't do anything.
Yeah.
It's like, why do we have them? Could have Gunther sit there and he could have binoculars on and told us what was going on.
He did sit there in the booth.
Well, it wasn't honestly when you got Clint. Oh no, it wasn't. Was Clint Boyer in there?
And Kurt Busch.
Oh, it was
With, Mike
oh.
Joy.
And now, if it was just Kurt Busch,
So it's 4 people.
no, but if it was Kurt Busch,
Gunther
Gunther,
and Mike.
Joy, and then they had Chase on,
Actually,
it would have been fine.
if
When you got
Yeah.
Boyer in there, it's like
The only-
that's like it's like
the
He
well,
just replaced
'cause
DW, might as well.
right.
you know?
it
The only
probably,
reason
it
that's
probably would
what
have been
that's-
nice to have Tony there too, but he was doing
Tony would have been better.
He was doing NHRA
right
that weekend.
Right. I mean,
Yeah.
honestly, if they had Tony in there, Tony probably would have coached Gunther a little bit.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Well,
Right.
he would because it's Stuart Haas and
Correct.
And
Yeah.
plus, Tony Stewart has done commentary
and like
before.
the other people, like do these people like the NASCAR fans fail to realize who ran the Red Bull NASCAR program?
Right.
I know. It's like Mike
Like-
Joy brings up. It's like, and would you believe it? He has been in NASCAR before.
Yeah,
and then it's just
right.
like,
Okay,
and I'm looking at it, really?
really. Thanks, Mike. You know, I'm not your 100% or NASCAR fan, but I knew that. I mean,
Yeah. I mean, it's
Jesus.
knowledge
God
to me,
almighty.
you know. So, yeah, that whole like
Like-
when AJ Allmendinger was on it, Brian Vickers, like
Right.
you know, it was that
Scott
those
Speed.
drivers were on that. Yeah, later on, Scott Speed.
Right.
And
So I mean,
so
it wasn't like they had a bunch of bad drivers, and it wasn't a badly funded team either.
And don't get me wrong, like if you're newer to the sport and you didn't know that, fine. But like you don't have to sound
I know,
like that
and it
either.
just was like
that's-
the pit stop thing just like blew my mind. I went.
Yeah,
I did.
I was
and
really
you know
shocked
what?
that Jamie
I
Little
guess
did
what?
what-
Yeah, the thing was it came from Jamie.
well, that's the thing. She's
Right.
the lead pit reporter,
Right.
and the others are kind of just like you know.
The other
holding
ones
their
are all
thumbs, and
kinda
Rich
like-
Regan Smith, like
But
just like and yeah, 4
Yeah.
tires, fuel, and that's it.
Yeah,
Has-
so,
has-
hey, back to you, Mike, in the booth. You know,
Yeah,
it's
right.
like
hasn't Jamie done?
she's done
sports-
drag racing.
Oh, okay.
NHRA. No,
And-
Jamie.
and,
Oh,
Jamie.
no.
Jamie-
Sorry, I'm thinking
What's it?
Jamie Howard.
Jamie Sellers.
That's right.
Jamie Howe. Yeah.
Yeah,
Like Jamie
sorry.
Howe. Like, couldn't they brought her in?
I know.
Like
She would have been
seriously.
so good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just. Oh my god.
IMSA, NASCAR, like
She knows what's
Same-
going on.
same-
She goes in.
same
She does
family tree.
she does NHRA.
I know.
She's roaming in the pits at NHRA, doing a great job. I just was shocked that it came from Jamie. That's
Yeah.
I guess what got me.
Okay.
maybe she
All
doesn't
right.
want to go to NASCAR.
Anyways, so the only other big thing that came out of the weekend or post weekend was the Hendrick lawyers. Hendrick lawyered up and was able to get the points
Oh,
reinstated
yeah.
against the independent board, not NASCAR, the independent board. Just so you know. And
Yeah.
but
Not Action Express
the
Racing.
monetary fines and suspensions stay.
Yeah, of the race engineers.
Which
Now-
I mean,
You know, how about this?
Really?
What hurts more? The points. So why don't you just
points hurt more.
right? So how about this?
Hands down.
Take the points, keep the points away, and then no suspension, no fines.
Well,
But the whole argument was
Sean, look, they pocket NASCAR pockets 400K from each of the crew, 100K from each crew chief, but totaling 400K. And NASCAR is just all in bed with this because cash is king.
Do you think that? Do you really think that they're paying that? That's Rick Hendrick's writing the check.
No.
Yeah,
It's not.
is.
It's not the crew
It has
chief.
to be done.
It's the team.
It's the team.
It's the team that's writing
they
it,
blame
not the crew.
Now
chief.
it's different.
You could say it's. You could say it's Alan Gustafson and
but
friends, but it's Rick Hendrick that's paying.
Hendrick's going to pay it. Now that's completely independent of what went on at IMSA with Shank.
Yes,
because that was that guy just doing it.
Yes,
which was dumb.
Yeah.
So, I mean, so he got what he deserved. So, I mean, that was just dumb. But yeah, so that kind of now that flips the whole points thing back. So now all the Hendrick guys are back up front. Larson's back up in there. Bowman. So.
But the elephant in the room for me is that there were 5 drivers affected by this, and
yes,
Justin Haley's
still he's
underwater,
right?
in points,
basically. He's being exactly. Yeah, talk about somebody being aggrieved. And anyways, so all right, that'll wrap up. Where are we off to next in the world of NASCAR?
Richmond.
Oh, I wish IndyCar would go back there.
Put your money on Denny Hamlin there.
Yeah, all right. Denny Hamlin, Kurt Busch, maybe Truex.
Kyle Busch.
Kyle Busch, sorry. I thought Kurt did a great job, actually. No, I thought Kurt was really good.
No,
I like
and he did get really emotional on the final lap.
Yeah, because
which I feel for him, man. He should have been in that car
as he should. But anyways, all right. Well, that wraps up NASCAR. All right. Well,
but hey, Tyler Reddick put on one hell of a clinic.
Yep. No, not to
this one.
No, he's the real deal. So good. I like the kid. So, anyways,
Sean, quick NASCAR trivia. Where did Tyler Reddick get his first win?
Sonoma.
No, Christian. Do you know this? Come on. You like it?
I'm sorry. Say that again.
Where did Tyler Reddick get his first win? Like in NASCAR or sprint cars? What are you talking about?
NASCAR. Cup.
In Cup. It wasn't a road course.
It was a road course.
Was it Sonoma?
Was it Watkins Glen?
No,
I said
said Sonoma.
I said Sonoma.
I'm
all
sorry.
right.
So that would have been Watkins
So Sonoma and Sonoma.
Oh, Road America.
No.
Road
America. Road America.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, good for Tyler. Somebody's going to win some there. All right.
Yeah,
not knocking.
Someone's going to win for
RCR.
RCR.
That's great. All right. So now we move on to Formula One. Yes. The Land Down Under.
This next segment will be played in reverse.
As we record this, we're just hours away from first FP1 on Thursday evening here.
Yeah. Right.
I think there's two things. Like before we get to the race, I mean, one is the FIA has what's his name, Domenicali, has come out about changing.
He's not FIA. He's the F1 director.
F1. Sorry,
yeah.
He's F1, right?
Yeah.
He wants to change the Formula One weekend and like one practice, and they want sprint races.
Yeah.
And I'm like, Jesus,
Yeah, not a fan of that.
Not a fan.
And it's I understand the argument of, I saw the comparison of, well, F2 and F3 don't get as much practice time as the big guys.
Yeah.
However, I get it. The format is different. So,
yeah.
But with F1, I can see it's like, well, when you look at a sprint weekend, it is less time. FP2 is kind of null and void. It doesn't matter because you already parked for me the car. However, from a fan's perspective,
I want track action.
You want track action, and if you take away 2 practices, that's 2 hours of track time that you lose. And
what are you going to do to fill it?
On Fridays, that's generally the cheapest day to get a ticket.
Right.
So if you as the average fan,
that's the
can't
one day
afford the race day
that's the one day
ticket,
you
you
go.
you go to
Now
a Friday
you're going to go
practice.
in this one session. It's like, wow.
Right.
I mean, like, anyways, so that never mind. Not going down that. I just take my head and bang it. Like,
Yeah.
you know, I know they want to control the costs of everything. But at the same point, when you have people coming to pay to see you,
If you want to control the cost, you shuffle the calendar.
right? Well, you don't go globetrotting
in
on
an orderly, right?
in an
In an
orderly
orderly
fashion.
fashion.
That's
All right,
that's
so,
how you do it.
And we've talked about
Yeah.
that. So I just don't get this. I mean, first off, fans want they want to see track action, things like that. So then, secondly, we had the FIA. You know, it hit a new low last year with the whole jewelry thing. And the guy's not wearing the right fire underwear and stuff. Now, I get it. Like, first off, the fire underwear, after the Grosjean thing, I think you should be wearing the right stuff, you know. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
if someone was compromising themselves because of, you know, they're too hot in the car or whatever, they really need,
sorry, it's too much weight.
whatever. They got to really think about what they're doing in the car, because that's just the wrong thinking. And then we had just the dumb stuff with the jewelry. I'm like, really? Who
But
cares?
was that also like kind of catered to one person? Like, I don't think there was anyone else that was really doing that.
I mean, it was primarily aimed at Lewis just because of
Well,
he's
Lewis,
the one that
Lewis
wears
is most
it.
noticeable wearing
Right.
it. I don't know. I mean,
Right.
that's his style. Whatever. It's not. I don't really
Fine.
care,
Yeah, no,
you know?
I'm not judging it or anything,
No,
but
I
I'm just
mean, I'm like-
it seems like of all the people on the grid that has
Yeah.
something,
Right.
it's him.
And
Like,
it came on top of like everything else
Well,
that was going on.
It also, when that came out too, it was also during the time of Mercedes dominance. So they're like, oh well, they're just trying to. At that point,
yeah, but
it's
then
like,
then
you're
it
trying to
kind of
sabotage the top
then
team.
the whole thing with 2 years ago when it was going on,
Right,
it was
right,
even getting.
I know.
You know, it's just dumb. You know, it's just like it's low. It's like, who cares?
Well, the jewelry stuff, it will take one race, one accident for that one driver that's wearing
No,
it.
that's his
to
problem.
Right, to wear it, have
There
it
you go.
cause harm, and that's you pay the price
You know
for
what?
it.
That's his problem. All right. I don't really. I'm just saying. Like, really, we're worrying about that.
Yeah.
Now we're worrying about the guys who work all weekend, bust their behinds,
Right.
pit stops, working on the cars, doing crazy stuff on the pit lane to get cars fixed, to get them into the race. And at the end of the race, they're not. Well, and this has been decades in any form of racing.
Yeah.
The teams go to the pit wall and celebrate.
Yeah.
Okay? I mean, it's more so in like in some racing, like in Formula One back in the day, Colin Chapman would be on the track throwing his hat. You know, when Mario went by. I mean, it was like, whatever, I don't care. But now it's like they can't climb the fence.
Yeah.
But then supposedly it's, what's the rule? They're not supposed, like you said, there's some rule about it or whatever. They're gonna
go above a certain
It's
point
just
on the
like,
fence.
can we just are we just taking the fun out of everything? Seriously,
Yeah, Sean, there's no more Greek girls even. Like, you know,
Well,
come on.
that's been out for a while.
that's been around for a while, and that's a whole nother thing, Nate. This is like, I'm like, can we have what? We're not allowed to celebrate. So we got to watch like the friggin' fireworks go off. You know, I mean, oh my God. They should, you know what? Every team should just go out on it doesn't matter who wins. They should all run the fence. Honestly. I mean, seriously. I mean, this is just dumb. This is just, God. Just, I hate it. There's no fun. They take the fun out of everything.
And replace it with boring corporate sponsors.
Don't worry about it, Christian. It's all right.
I'm trying to.
There's some language in there that says you're not supposed
there's
to.
an article on autosport.com. If you go and read it, essentially the headline that you're seeing is that no one is allowed to climb the pit wall anymore, and because you will be fined.
Right.
Prior to that, or prior to today or last week, whatever, the rule, there was a rule in there that already stated that you shouldn't be doing this along some lines, but with the interpretation, you basically could get away with it because you,
Whatever.
But if you want to go read it, go on autosport.com
Whatever.
and check out the article there because that has a lot more information on it.
I don't know. I'm just kidding.
But I do agree. This is the one thing for the whole team to go celebrate,
Thank
and
you.
it's not just about the driver.
It's not just about the winning team. It's about Williams could finish 6th and get the
correct,
and they can't even
right.
I mean, a 6th place finish. What if they get a podium?
Right, just like Aston Martin.
Everyone loses their minds.
This is like Aston Martin every race so far between the 2 races this year, and this goes for.
This is the FIA, correct? On this one,
yes, this is the FIA.
Yes.
So the FIA don't they have overarching at Le Mans?
Yeah. This is not part of. I'm sorry. This is the FIA, I believe, for the Formula 1, or no? Nope, never mind. This is overall.
Overall,
this
so
is the international
even at Le Mans, they're now not allowed to celebrate.
I would want to agree with that.
Oh, fantastic! All right, great, thanks.
It says FIA's International
get a load of this, Sean.
Sporting Code.
There you go. All right. Okay. Well, that's exciting. Thank you, FIA, for your short-sightedness and taking fun out of racing. And Stefano Domenicali, wake up.
Yeah, we like Toto. No, not Toto. We like Michael Massey better.
Yeah, seriously. Well, Michael Massey wasn't Stefano. I mean, this is just Chase Carey was the guy. Now he took over for.
Gotcha.
This is just done. God, I'm just done. What can we? Anyways, enough. All right. Moving on. IndyCar. Oh well, predictions for Formula One.
Yes, at Albert Park.
Albert Park.
So
might chance of rain.
Oh,
Slight.
Hold on.
this is news to me. I hope there's rain. I'd like to see a rain race.
No.
Rain apart from the odd race, right?
Rain today.
Tomorrow maybe.
Rain today. Nothing tomorrow or Sunday.
Oh, okay.
So,
Oh,
sorry.
well, still.
When you say today, it's Friday because it's Friday already.
Sorry.
There.
Yes, it's
Right.
Friday. We're watching.
As we record this, we're sitting here watching in the background F2. F2
practice.
FP1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. All right, Nate. Quick.
So I
Like a
gotta
bunny?
say, I think it's. Why am I saying this? 3rd place, I think, is going to be Charles.
Okay.
All right, so Ferrari podium. You're kind of see maybe something happened with Max Verstappen, finished 2nd, and geez, man, I can't believe I'm saying this. Fernando Alonso.
Okay.
I think he's going to win.
Fair enough.
I think he's going to win. Let's see him win.
Okay.
You know. I don't know. But
right.
I'll tell you what.
Do you
This
have a-
race
do you have a
has
dark horse?
different winners.
Do you have a dark horse?
Looking around, I want to see some Haas magic again. So Nico Hulkenberg.
Okay. With a decent. Okay. All right, Christian.
I was gonna say Fred wins as well. And then I was gonna go Max 2nd, Checo 3rd,
Okay.
with the snitch as the dark horse.
Okay. Is that when you say the snitch? Are we talking Latte Boy
Yeah.
or Team LH?
No.
You're talking the Latte Boy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait, you're talking about the number 1 driver on Mercedes?
Anyways.
Yes.
All right.
As I say that though, I was kind of thinking on the lines of, well, Fred did almost have that stellar lap last year
Yeah.
with Alpine.
Well,
And
I'm glad you
and-
brought that up.
And this is it's a different track than what Jeddah and Bahrain was. So
Whereas
whereas
extra DRS this time.
Yeah, but I think it's because there's more low traction getting out of the corners.
I'm just saying there's
than
an
the
extra
previous
DRS.
tracks. So because at Bahrain, that's where the Aston Martin.
When I say
had
the
its
extra
strengths
DRS, last year there was only 3. Now there's 4 this year here.
Correct, but the track is different from last year because they had the new changes last year.
Right.
This year they've just added a zone, not that they've stretched it.
All right, I'm gonna go this. It's gonna be Max with the redemption victory. It's gonna be Fernando second, and it's gonna be Team LH third.
Wow, what happened to both Ferraris?
The what?
Strategy.
Nate,
What happened to both?
Nate, where have you been?
Nate, we're right now. Ferrari is heading about right to where McLaren is. Okay.
No, I know,
right.
but
And
look.
here's my dark horse. Christian,
Yeah.
get ready for it.
Oh,
Oh,
don't say it.
Big Daddy Stroll.
Lance
Stroll.
did say it. Oh,
Lance Stroll.
have fun with that one, man. He's gonna crash so hard.
I will say it. I don't, it's odd going in this year. I know last year it wasn't the opening round either, but it is Australia, and to me, I always think of it's a high
Attrition track.
Yeah.
All right.
So it'll be interesting to see if everyone finishes or
All right.
not.
So let's move on to IndyCar.
Yeah.
We're at Texas on the high banks.
Woo. Yes.
I don't know where we're at with IndyCar right now.
I don't know. It's been a month.
You know, and it's been one race, and it was a street course.
I know.
Yeah.
My pick to click is going to be Newgarden.
Okay. Your
All
dark
right.
horse.
Connor Daly,
All right.
only because he runs well there.
Nate.
Well, I think my pick right here is just going to be just straight to the point. It's going to be Scott Dixon.
Okay.
But I'll tell you who my dark horse is going to be.
Will Power.
It's going to be Takuma Sato.
Oh, good.
Takuma Sato's going to do
Yep.
really good at
Yep.
Texas.
Yeah, I agree too. And if Takuma wins, I wouldn't be surprised. Anyways, Christian,
Me neither.
I was gonna go Dixon, but
why not? You can do it.
I know.
It's
It's our
fine.
man. Yeah,
fine.
no, it's, hey,
Six,
you know.
six-time.
It's probably going to be
six win at the track.
It'll probably be Marcus Ericsson that wins.
I
so.
was just gonna say.
Yeah, right, 2
I
wins.
think
Jeez.
looking at previous race history, I think the trend is gonna go this year to Ganassi.
Okay.
So I think Ericsson wouldn't be a bad shout, but also I could, if they don't screw with Palou and give him a good shot, I think he would.
No, that's good. Yeah, Palou's good. That's another good dark horse.
But my dark horse is going to be Pagenaud.
Pagenaud, Simone.
Yeah.
Nice. All right. You know what? You know what's going to happen? Because none of us took him.
What?
Hurt is going to win.
Just completely written off Andretti. Yeah. Well, all right. Only other piece of news that I have that we didn't touch on last week is that the 33rd entry for the Indy 500 has been taken up by Captain America.
Oh, yeah. That's true.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Ryan
that's
Hunter-Reay.
right. Yep.
So-
RHR will be in.
So now the grid has 33 entries.
So if somebody else shows up, then we have bumping.
yes.
Okay. The only other piece of news that I got is that finally, and I had talked to Christian about this after watching Sebring and some of the crap that's been going on with the Porsche team. They've decided that Matt Campbell's going to be a reserve driver at Le Mans.
Oh, they did.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
So I think
Wow.
I think it came down to one of two things. I think it came down to two drivers. It was him and Tandy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the only reason Tandy's going to get the spot is he's won because he won with Hulkenberg.
Yeah.
Might have been some seniority there, but I think those were the two that were on the hook for some of the stuff that's been going on because both of them have had some stupid shunts with the car, especially in qualifying and practice. And that is, and I wouldn't be surprised if Tandy is really like he's going to get the bare minimum.
Yeah.
In the practice and qualifying.
He's last one in?
Yeah. So I think Penske's I think this is coming from the top.
Yeah.
This is coming from Roger. So so I'm not surprised it's happening.
So
and then we had Ricky Taylor and Rene Rast and John Ferrano are going to be teaming up in LMP2.
Yep.
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
Got two good drivers there. Ferrano's not that.
I mean, Ricky's done
and
numerous years now.
Ferrano's good. He's not Ben Keating good. Let's put it that way.
Right.
All right. So he's like a step below.
Yeah. But Ricky's been doing this LMP2 stuff at Le Mans.
And
for
Rene
a while,
Rast
so,
is very competent. So
yeah.
good for them. I like that. Yeah. That's cool.
So racing for this weekend, we got NASCAR at Richmond.
Yeah.
IndyCar at Texas and F1 at Australia.
And then the supercars are at.
They're running at Melbourne
SVG
as well.
took a big win earlier today. Or yesterday.
Speaking
Thursday.
of SVG, I think he's going to be the next guy at that Trackhouse Project 91 car.
What are you referring to? Some cryptic interview that Justin Marks did with Sirius XM Radio?
Yeah. I mean, you know what got me? He said it's going to be someone with similar discipline,
right?
In NASCAR, to NASCAR, which thinking in my head, like what series is kind of elbows out.
They're only doing this on the road courses, right? So far,
yeah. So far, it's only been road courses.
They haven't announced going to an oval.
Not
yet.
And
not yet.
And I wouldn't be surprised if it was at Chicago.
Yeah,
because supercars run a lot of tight street courses. So,
well, I'd imagine it's any road course. He's making it more.
I honestly, I would say, and I hate to say this way, but if it was at, well, they're not. I know they're not going there. If it was at Road America, I don't think he'd be that good.
No, yeah, I agree. It's not that style.
If you watch the supercars, the biggest track that they run on is Bathurst.
Right.
Okay. Granted, he does well there. Okay.
Yes.
Where he does extremely well is on the traditional tight and the street circuits. He's very good at getting the most out of the car, but also being able to do a little bump and run.
Right.
So that's
he won't be afraid to use it.
He won't be, and that's why I'm saying I think it wouldn't make sense to see him at Chicago maybe.
Yeah. The other not that NASCAR goes there, but Mid Ohio would be a good one.
Mid Ohio would be an excellent one. Yeah. Yes, because we had talked about like tracks in America where the supercars would be good.
Yeah. One
is Lime Rock. Because Lime Rock is not the 3 mile. It's the short track at Watkins Glen, the NASCAR track.
Yeah, the NASCAR track. Yeah.
Mid Ohio, excellent track for it.
They could do Road Atlanta.
It's a little.
The last part.
I want to say because then I want to say they should do VIR too.
Oh yeah.
And the reason those tracks would be good is that they have those tight twisty sections, and that's what the supercars have a lot of. The problem is the supercars outside of Bathurst don't run on 3 mile tracks.
Right.
Every track that they're running on is something like Mid Ohio it's at 2 something, but like Lime Rock is like ideal for it.
Yeah. Would you do Laguna?
Yeah, you could do Laguna.
You could do Sonoma.
Sonoma you could do, definitely. Yep. And what you would do at Sonoma, you wouldn't go, when you come up, you go up the hill, go through the S's down the hill, and they go to the back. At NASCAR kind of misses that. They go off, the sports car go off to the right. NASCAR, when they make that right where they go off to the right and then they go down onto the drag strip and back, they would just do the old NASCAR thing where they go straight line down. That would be good.
That's fine.
Yeah, and that's what those cars love. They love those tracks. So, those are the types of tracks. Like they did it. They came to COTA and they shortcutted the track, and it was goofy. It was hokey.
You could have just
Because I mean, remember we watched it. It was like, oh, this sucks.
Well,
there was no. It took the flow of the track out of the flow of the track. If that makes sense. Trying to think where else. I don't know, but that's.
Yeah.
I mean, Lime Rock could probably be the best track, honestly.
Would you do Summit Point?
No. Again, it's just no. Summit Point's fine. Again, when you're getting out to 3 miles on these tracks, that's
no.
That's what Supercars isn't. Like a Bathurst, it just is and Bathurst is a long track, but Bathurst, by the nature of how narrow it is,
correct.
You know, it makes it a different ballgame.
It's the mountain section that really
changes the dynamic of the track. Yeah. So, but be interesting. Could add Derek. Who was it? Who came on?
Yeah, Derek.
Derek Moore.
Yeah, could add Derek on.
I'm sure. I'm sure. I think he has a list of where he would run everything.
Yeah, I mean, we could have a conversation. But so hopefully, we have a good race and things like that. So
also this weekend, MotoGP, they're going to Argentina.
MotoGP was at where were they last weekend?
Portugal.
That was a great race. Pecca Bagnaia won. Love it. And Marc Marquez, he's in a bit of trouble.
Well,
he Danny Kvyat somebody pretty bad, and it was a local Portuguese rider that he torpedoed. So he's in a bit of trouble.
Jeez.
So
it's his problem.
Yeah. So it was a good race, typical MotoGP. So, but they're running in Argentina this weekend.
Yeah.
They're going from Portugal. Jeez. Wow. Good for them.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Alrighty.
All right. I guess on that note, we'll wrap up the show.
Mm-hmm.
Nate?
Yes? Good night. Oh, my God.
I'll take it out.
Can we lock me in there? Because actually it's kind of funny.
Thank you guys for listening to the Red Mist Podcast, hosted by Christian Abbott, Sean Abbott, and Nathan Lavin. It's produced by Christian Abbott, and music is by Alex Wart and Harrison Tate.